Multiple Intelligences. Welcome to a new short course titled Multiple Intelligences, taken from the book Training Courses by Muteb Alqarni. In this course, we will discuss the theory of multiple intelligences proposed by the American psychologist Howard Gardner, which claims that intelligence is not a single form, but rather 8 forms, varying in levels within each individual. Then we will move on to discuss emotional intelligence in particular, a type of intelligence not addressed by Gardner in his theory, but proposed by the American psychologists Peter Salovey and John Mayer, popularized by Daniel Goleman in his book Emotional Intelligence, published in 1995. In 1983, Howard Gardner introduced his book Frames of Mind, The Theory of Multiple Intelligences, presenting a new idea that there is no such thing as a stupid person. Intelligence is not a single form measured solely through IQ tests, which rely on mathematical logic, but rather there are 8 forms of intelligence in each individual. In summary, every person is intelligent in some way. Gardner claims that in every individual, there are 8 intelligences with varying proportions. 1. Logical mathematical intelligence. 2. Linguistic intelligence. 3. Visual spatial intelligence. 4. Musical intelligence. 5. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence. 6. Naturalistic intelligence. 7. Interpersonal intelligence. And 8. Intrapersonal intelligence. Some excel in 1 intelligence, some in 2, and some in 3 or more. The first form of Gardner's intelligences is logical mathematical intelligence, which is highly present in scientific figures like Albert Einstein and in mathematicians, chemists, physicists, etc. Through this intelligence, individuals can easily comprehend scientific concepts, analyze mathematical numbers, and solve logical problems. Ask yourself, do you have logical mathematical intelligence? What are your grades in mathematics, chemistry, and natural sciences in general? How capable are you of solving logical problems and making connections between them? Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence, knowing that 1 is low intelligence and 10 is high intelligence. Is this intelligence your strength? Or is it another intelligence that needs further development? The second form is linguistic intelligence, which is highly present in literary figures like William Shakespeare, for example. Through this intelligence, individuals can manipulate their language, choose the best words, and play with vocabulary and synonyms. A linguistically intelligent person excels in using language both in writing and speaking, as well as possessing skills in storytelling, poetry, and public speaking, etc. Ask yourself, do you have linguistic intelligence? What are your grades in language and rhetoric courses? Can you use vocabulary and synonyms intelligently? Are you a speaker, poet, novelist, or storyteller? How do people evaluate your language? Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence. Is it your strength, or is it another intelligence that needs further development? The third form of intelligences is visual spatial intelligence, which is highly present in creative figures like the painter Picasso, for example. It manifests in those who have drawing and imaging skills, visual, and those who excel in determining directions, road paths, and city maps, spatial. Ask yourself, do you have visual spatial intelligence? What are your grades in drawing? Do you have a talent for drawing and coloring? Do you have a skill in taking pictures? Do you get lost quickly in crowded places, or can you accurately determine your location? Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence. Is it your strength, or is it another intelligence that needs further development? The fourth form is musical intelligence, which is highly present in great musicians like Beethoven and Mozart, among others. It manifests in those with high auditory skills who excel in singing and playing musical instruments and distinguishing between harmonious and dissonant music, as well as understanding rhythms and their variations in poetry and prose, for example. Ask yourself, do you have musical intelligence? Are you highly sensitive and possess a musical ear that can identify the meter in poems, for example? Can you easily recognize if a song melody is borrowed from another song? Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence. Is it your strength, or is it another intelligence that needs further development? The fifth form of Gardner's intelligences is bodily kinesthetic intelligence, which is highly present in top athletes like Maradona and in global actors like Mr. Bean, for example. It manifests in those who excel in physical movements and bodily reactions like athletes, and those who excel in controlling their body movements and facial expressions like actors. Ask yourself, do you have bodily kinesthetic intelligence? Are you a good actor? Are you an outstanding athlete? Are your physical reactions quick and smart? Can you dance, whether modern or folkloric? Do you have clear body language? Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence. Is it your strength, or is it another intelligence that needs further development? The sixth form of Gardner's intelligences is naturalistic intelligence, which is highly present in nature enthusiasts like Kongari Maathai and Rachel Carson. These intelligent individuals have a clear understanding of nature, good communication with animals and plants, observe weather and climate changes, and make accurate predictions about environmental changes. Ask yourself, do you have naturalistic intelligence? Do you have skills to communicate with your pets and understand their needs and desires? Are you a shepherd of sheep or cows, and do you communicate effectively with them? Can you predict rainfall early? Rate yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence. Is it your strength, or is it another intelligence that needs further development? The seventh form is interpersonal intelligence, which is intelligence found at high levels in those who excel in social interaction with others, such as Nelson Mandela, for example. It requires high skills in communication, negotiation, problem-solving, conflict resolution, understanding others, and accommodating their desires and needs. Ask yourself, do you have interpersonal intelligence? Do you understand your friends well, or do you engage in frequent conflicts and arguments with them? Can you engage in successful negotiations? Do you understand people's needs and desires? Can you solve problems between people? What score would you give yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence? Is it your strong intelligence, or is it another intelligence that needs further development? The eighth and final form of multiple intelligences is intrapersonal intelligence, which is intelligence found at high levels in those who are self-aware, such as Mahatma Gandhi, for example. It manifests in those who have a complete awareness of themselves, understand their thoughts, have a keen sense of their feelings, have tight control over their desires, and have complete control over their wants and needs. Ask yourself, do you have intrapersonal intelligence? Do you know yourself, your personality, and who you are? Do you understand your thoughts and feelings and have control over your desires? Do you know your needs and understand what motivates you and controls your decisions? What score would you give yourself from 1 to 10 in this intelligence? Is it your strong intelligence, or is it another intelligence that needs further development? Sum up your previous scores in each intelligence, then divide the result by 80 and multiply the result by 100. The result will be the percentage of your intelligence out of a 100%, in all these multiple intelligences. Review the numbers, remembering that the highest number represents your strong intelligence, which you should reinforce and be proud of. Look into the intelligences with lower scores and find ways to improve them. This is our quick test, but for more accurate results, try the following 80-question test via the link in the description of this video. The maximum benefit of the theory of multiple intelligences is to recognize that intelligence is not a single form. Your intelligence is diverse and may increase in one aspect and decrease in another, and the best thing to do is to reinforce your strongest intelligence and improve your weaker intelligences. The goal of the theory of multiple intelligences is multifaceted. The first goal is to boost your confidence as an intelligent individual in one of the 8 areas. Feeling low in logical mathematical intelligence does not mean you're unintelligent. You might be intelligent in bodily kinesthetic or musical intelligence, for example. If someone is smarter than you on a logical level, you might be smarter than them physically or auditorily, and so on. Human perfection comes when you develop all your multiple intelligences, so you become logically, linguistically, visually, auditorily, bodily, naturally, socially, and intrapersonally intelligent. The more a person doubles their intelligence in all these 8 aspects, the closer they get to perfection. This is exactly the lofty goal, noble aim, and ideal state sought by human beings. The second goal of multiple intelligences theory is to increase your appreciation for the diversity of all humans. When you find a student with a low level in language, the theory reminds you that they're not an unintelligent student. They might be smart physically, for instance in football. And when you find a student not smart socially, the theory also reminds you not to underestimate their abilities, as they might be visually intelligent, for instance in photography. Everyone is smart. There are no stupid humans. This is the idea of the theory. It's an idea that urges us to appreciate these individual differences in terms of diverse intelligences, to appreciate them as a biological diversity that emphasizes the importance of human solidarity and cooperation. Humans are intelligent in multiple facets, making them complementary to each other, smart in one aspect, complementing smartness in another, and so on. The third goal of the multiple intelligences theory is also to assist managers in recruitment and hiring. The company can explore the intelligences of employees and hire them according to their potentials in various positions. For instance, they can assign the linguistically intelligent as a company spokesperson, the socially intelligent as a marketer or human resources manager, appoint the visually intelligent as a graphic designer. They can also name the auditorily intelligent as a sound engineer, and the logically intelligent as a data analyst, the bodily intelligent as an events supervisor, the intrapersonally intelligent as a trainer and course presenter, and the naturally intelligent as a supervisor of company facilities and designer for environmentally friendly needs. For example, I am not fully convinced about the last one. Anyway, by this distribution, the employee's task becomes complementary to another employee's task. The fourth goal of the multiple intelligences theory is to contribute to improving the pedagogical field. The presence of multiple intelligences indicates that the teacher should include in their educational lessons exercises and activities that cater to each intelligence independently. The teacher should include some pictures and drawings to support visually intelligent students, and some rhythmic memorizations to support auditorily intelligent students. They should involve students in groups to support socially intelligent students, or in theatrical representations to support kinesthetically intelligent students, and separate them individually to support intrapersonally intelligent students. They should give them logical problems to support logically intelligent students, and problems involving linguistic complexities to support linguistically intelligent students, and take them outside the classroom to support naturally intelligent students. If I were a student, I would love the last one. After finishing the discussion on the theory of multiple intelligences, we will discuss in the next half of this course emotional intelligence. And it is an intelligence that Gardner did not discuss enough in his theory, but it was proposed, as we said, by the American psychologists Peter Salovey and John Mayer, in addition to the contribution of Daniel Goleman in his book with the same title. Emotional intelligence has received more attention than multiple intelligences theory. In this course, we will define emotional intelligence as human intelligence in 1, containing their own emotions, and 2, containing the emotions of others. Below, we will discuss 6 steps that enable us to 1, contain our own emotions, and 6 other steps that enable us to 2, contain the emotions of others. The first step enabling a person to contain their own feelings is labeling their emotions. A person cannot contain their feelings simply because they do not know what emotions they are experiencing. Therefore, the most important step to enhance emotional intelligence is to label the feelings you are currently experiencing. Are they anxiety, sadness, fear, frustration, boredom, tension, etc.? Without labeling, you will not be able to distinguish between frustration and sadness, anxiety and fear, for example. Be precise in labeling your feelings. As the rule says, if you can name it, you can tame it. When you label your feelings as anxiety, you will focus directly on the causes of anxiety, and when you label them as fear, you will focus directly on how to tackle the fear. The second step to contain your own feelings after labeling is reframing emotions. Emotionally intelligent individuals realize that their feelings are driven by negative thoughts. So when they think and say, "So-and-so insults them because he wants to offend them," they get angry. And when they reframe the thought and say, "So-and-so insults them because so-and-so is mentally ill," they feel relieved. Thus, the thought triggers the feeling, and emotionally intelligent individuals change the thought to change their feelings. The rule says, if you can reframe it, you can reclaim it. Reclaiming your neutral mindset. Try changing the thought that triggers your feelings and choose an alternative, positive, or neutral one to change your perspective on events, and you will find your feelings dissipating. The third step to contain your own feelings after labeling and reframing is releasing emotions, or what we can call redirecting emotions. This step means directing our feelings towards useful things. So if you feel anxious, release your anxiety by exercising, writing, talking to a friend, or even crying, as crying has health benefits. Therefore, emotionally intelligent individuals are those who redirect and release their feelings from within to external channels. The rule says, if you can release it, you can decrease it. Release your feelings in a healthy way like exercising, talking, or writing, not through violence, emotional outbursts, or overeating, etc. The fourth step of containing your own feelings is accepting emotions. Emotionally intelligent individuals do not judge their feelings of joy and happiness as useful, and do not judge their feelings of anxiety, anger, and sadness as useless. All feelings are natural, neutral feelings, neither useful nor useless. Feelings are natural reactions, nothing more. Therefore, emotionally intelligent individuals do not judge their feelings negatively. Neither do they resist them. but they accept them as natural feelings. The rule says, what you accept goes, and what you reject grows. Try not to reject these feelings when you feel anxious and sad, but instead observe them moving within you only, being a witness rather than a judge. The fifth step to contain your own feelings is recentering. This step, following the acceptance step, calls for regaining your inner self and recentering yourself away from your overwhelming feelings. You can do this by breathing, focusing on your inhale and exhale, as focusing on breathing for 5 minutes reduces the speed of thoughts and then the intensity of feelings. Emotionally intelligent individuals practice the breathing technique for emotion regulation. The rule says, if you can breathe it, you can soothe it. Breathing increases your awareness of the present moment and helps you forget feelings often associated with the past and the future. Focus on your breath now, and you'll witness the magic. After recentering yourself and regaining your inner self comes resolving emotions. We mean by that to look for a fundamental solution to the underlying issues that trigger your feelings. If it's sadness due to a loss, look for a new partner. And if it's anxiety about health, find a solution to what worries you by visiting the hospital. The solution to the root cause is what completely alleviates the feelings. In short, emotionally intelligent individuals contain their feelings by 1. Labeling, 2. Reframing, 3. Releasing or redirecting, 4. Accepting, 5. Recentering, and finally, 6. By resolving and searching for a solution to the causes. We said that emotionally intelligent individuals are not only those who understand, regulate, and organize their own feelings, but also those who understand, regulate, and organize the feelings of others. The first step to understanding others' feelings is emotional validation, meaning acknowledging that the other person's emotions are valid and legitimate, not fake and made up. Emotionally intelligent individuals believe in the rule, everyone has the right to express their feelings. Therefore, they see it as obligatory to accept the other party's feelings and agree to them in principle, even if they do not understand the motives and underlying drives behind them. Therefore, you do not need to understand the reasons for the other person's emotions initially. You need to accept them as sincere feelings, not deceptive ones, and this is emotional intelligence. Do you accept your partner's feelings as they are? After validating the feelings, emotional understanding comes as a second step in getting to know others' feelings. After accepting the feelings as they are and agreeing that they are true and deserved, look for the driving causes behind them by asking the other party open-ended questions. I understand what you're feeling right now, so what exactly happened? Emotionally intelligent individuals try to understand the other party's motivations to reach the driving forces. Therefore, this stage requires active, complete listening to what the other party says without interruption and without attempting to change their negative thoughts into positive ones. Those overwhelmed by feelings cannot suddenly be positive. After attempting to understand, empathizing comes as a third step, which is a stage that requires a person to put themselves in the other person's shoes. A person cannot understand another person until they put themselves in their place, and this stage may include phrases like, "I feel what you're feeling, and I agree with you, and if I were in your place, I would feel the same way." It's an attempt to absorb these feelings and affirm full support for the other party. However, remember that putting yourself in the other person's shoes does not mean that you accurately sense their feelings. You may make mistakes by saying, for example, "If what happened to you happened to me, I wouldn't be angry, and if I were you, I wouldn't care." you are forgetting that each person has unique feelings that you need to comprehend. The fourth step to containing the feelings of others is through emotional paraphrasing, meaning to restate what you heard from the other party in your own words, such as saying, for example, "What I understood from you is this and that." It's an important skill that makes the other party feel that you grasp the details of their problems and understand their feelings fully. Therefore, the task of the emotionally intelligent person is to gain the trust of the other party by letting them know that they understand their suffering. The best way to rephrase feelings is to restate them as the other party said them, not as you see them, to avoid either exaggerating or trivializing their emotions. The fifth step in containing the feelings of others is solution orientation. The emotionally overwhelmed person tends to focus on their problem that triggered their feelings more than they think about the ideal solution to it. Here you should offer a compromise solution that satisfies both you and the other party, as solution orientation is more effective. The emotionally intelligent person does not become defensive, exaggerating their stance, nor dismissive, diminishing the position and feelings of the other party. Instead, they seek to find a middle ground through which the main problem can be resolved. The seventh step is setting boundaries. After offering a solution, setting boundaries between you and the other party to prevent the resurgence of such tense feelings is possible. Knowing the emotional boundaries of the other person and not crossing them will preserve both their feelings and yours from intensifying. It's a fundamental idea for organizing emotions between parties for what may occur in the future. Therefore, the emotionally intelligent person decides their boundaries and does not allow the other party to cross them, just as they understand the boundaries of others and do not allow themselves to cross them. Do you get angry when someone crosses your boundaries? Perhaps you haven't defined and discussed your boundaries with them yet. Does someone get angry when you joke about them? Perhaps they haven't known your boundaries yet. Recognizing each party's boundaries is an important step in organizing emotions and enhancing emotional intelligence. In short, the emotionally intelligent person is not only the one who regulates and controls their emotions, but also the one who comprehends and empathizes with the feelings of others. We said that one of the ways to understand the feelings of others is to acknowledge the validity of their feelings from the beginning and affirm that they are justified and deserve understanding. Then, seek to contain them by searching for their motives, then express empathy with the clarity of those motives and stimuli. After empathizing with them comes the rephrasing, to make the other party aware that you fully grasp their feelings, then strive to guide the other party's mind to the ideal and middle ground solution, and this can be done without taking a defensive or dismissive stance. Then after reaching a compromise, the defining boundaries between you come to respect each other's emotional boundaries in the future. Now, we come to the conclusion of the Multiple Intelligences course. We have learned a lot in this course, and the best thing we learned in it is that intelligence is not one form or type. As everyone is intelligent, because intelligences are 8 forms, a person may excel in one type and decline in another. The perfect person is the one who can achieve a high score in all 8 intelligences. We also learned about emotional intelligence, and we said that the emotionally intelligent person is the one who controls and masters their emotions, understands the emotions of others, and comprehends them. They control their emotions through labeling, reframing, directing, accepting, recentering, and resolving. And they understand the emotions of others through acknowledging, understanding, empathizing, paraphrasing, finding the compromise solution, and setting the boundary lines. This training course, Multiple Intelligences, is taken from the book Training Courses by Muteb Alqarni.